I am Olun, of the Istafari, and this is our story. We Istafari are a simple people. We live in peace and mutual harmony with nature. Except during the Black Week. The Black Week is when we offer to the Black God a dozen of our younglings, healthy and full of life. This is a sacrifice we make to survive as a species. In the past, Istafari who refused to pay their offering were simply wiped off the face of existence. It was as if they never existed. Joseph was a human who had settled near our town. Humans were long-lived compared to us, but even by human standards, Joseph was impossibly old. He'd apparently travelled across the galaxy before finally deciding to retire on our planet. He just wanted some peace and quiet, he said. Joseph was very good with the children. Every evening the children would flock to him, and he would tell them stories both real and imagined. Apparently humans have fictional worlds as big as the real one. Joseph evidently didn't know about the offering, but he did realise that children were going missing every offering season. Perhaps he thought we'd send them away to universities, or self-discovery journeys like the humans of old. Until he questioned one of the children, and found out about the Black God. The next morning, Joseph walked up to the local council. He inquired after the Black God and the ritual, and seemed positively horrified. He suggested we call a human. When we explained to him that no one stood a chance against the Black God, he sighed. He begged us to give him a chance. He said that he would take full responsibility, and there would be no repercussions on us. If the human failed, we should blame it all on Joseph and offer him up in the subsequent Black Week. The human who turned up at Joseph's summon was very different from Joseph. He had deep blue eyes and no crinkles on his face. Where Joseph's eyes had a twinkling to them, this human's had nothing. His eyes betrayed no emotion. And yet, if you looked long enough, you could feel a fire blazing behind them. Joseph did most of the talking. The human asked us a few clarifying questions. Unlike Joseph, he was a man of few words. Then he supposedly went to work. The next Black Week, the human faced the Black Angels, alone. There was no tribute. We were watching from a distance, using the two-way mirror the human had provided. "There will be no tribute," proclaimed the human. "From this day onwards, you will leave the Istafari alone." After they were done cackling, the Black Angels asked, "Oh yes, you will stop us? All of us? You and what army?" It was then we noticed the humming in the background that was building to a slow crescendo. Was this a divine punishment from the Black God? No. The human spoke softly. "This army." And a massive black swarm rose behind him and dispersed into the air. The Black Angels were confused for a few moments, then their faces contorted in pain as they fell to the ground, squirming. "Nanobots," said the human, still speaking softly. "For you, I chose the most horrific way to die. I know the high mind you call the Black God can feel all of you dying, can sense your confusion, fear, and pain. Only when the last of you are dead will the nanobots eviscerate the hive mind." For the first time ever, I saw fear in the Black Angel's eyes. "What are you?" they croaked. The human knelt down next to the fallen angels. "For you monsters, we are the thing that goes bump in the night." Then he left without a second glance. The Black God and his Black Angels are all gone. We, the Istafari, are forever grateful. We would have gladly pledged eternal servitude to the human. But Joseph insisted on negotiating himself. Says something about human negotiations. In the end, the human left with perpetual mining rights on one continent of our planet. In our opinion, it was too less. In Joseph's opinion, it was too generous. The human betrayed no emotion. He left immediately after, presumably to kill other monsters. He did get one more thing, though. Even today, if you go to the site of that fated encounter, you will see a miles-high tower. We had to pay a fortune to an Ziastari engineering firm to build it, and we paid gladly. It's something of a pilgrimage to every Istafari parent to visit it at least once. The Van Helsing Column.